They did it again, another fabricated headline meant to twist, distort, and provoke. Meghan Sussex becomes one of Balenciaga's highest-paid guests, say sources. A headline dripping with falsehood, baiting readers with the same old formula of envy and deceit that tabloids have used against Meghan Sussex for years. The truth, however, is something far simpler, more beautiful, and more human. Meghan Sussex was attending a friend's Balenciaga debut. Nothing more, nothing less. Pierpaolo Piccioli, a creative force she has known for years, invited her as a friend, and she showed up gracefully, embodying loyalty and genuine support. That was the truth. But truth rarely sells when it comes to Meghan Sussex. For the vultures of the tabloid world, fabrication always does. It's astonishing how the media continues to treat Meghan Sussex as a canvas on which to project its own insecurities, greed, and prejudice. Every move she makes becomes a spectacle, every appearance twisted into a scandal, every friendship rewritten into a contract, and every smile painted as strategy. Yet through it all, Meghan stands firm, a woman who has never needed validation from gossip writers or approval from faceless online trolls. Her dignity, as always, is her defense. Her silence, as always, is her power. While the tabloids build their castles of lies, she lives her truth, calmly, graciously, and beautifully. The so-called sources behind such stories never have names, never have credibility, and never have the courage to attach themselves to their own claims. Because they don't need facts, they need frenzy. They thrive on engagement, on outrage, on clicks. Meghan's name guarantees that. To them, she is not a person, but a product, an algorithm that drives revenue. Yet even within that machinery of falsehood, there is something they will never be able to counterfeit. The authenticity of Meghan Sussex's grace. No sum of money, no concocted rumour, no exclusive insider can replicate the quiet strength of a woman who has faced the world's cruelty and continued to rise with elegance. When Meghan Sussex attended Balenciaga, she did not go seeking attention. She did not demand cameras, nor was she chasing relevance. She was there as a friend, supporting Pierpaolo in the same way she has supported countless creatives, designers, and artists throughout her life. She has always lifted others. She understands the beauty of community, of encouragement, of showing up. That spirit is what makes her luminous in any room. And yet within hours, the narrative was hijacked. Tabloid writers who had likely never set foot inside a fashion show began constructing their fiction, turning a moment of friendship into an opportunity for greed. But the world sees through it now. The public is beginning to recognize the pattern, the relentless cycle of lies designed to keep Meghan Sussex at the centre of fabricated storms. One day she's accused of being too ambitious. The next she's accused of doing nothing. One day they say she craves attention. The next they say she's hiding something. The hypocrisy is almost artful in its repetition. They want her visible yet punished for visibility. They want her silent yet criticised for silence. They want her perfect, then mock her perfection. It's a never-ending game of contradictions, one that Meghan has long stopped playing. Her composure at Balenciaga spoke volumes. Dressed in serene white, she glowed, not because of luxury or fame, but because of calmness. She looked like a woman untouched by the noise, a woman who has mastered the art of detachment in the face of chaos. That photograph, captured amidst flashing cameras and whispering onlookers, became proof of something the tabloids will never comprehend. Peace is louder than scandal. Meghan Sussex doesn't need to respond to false headlines because her truth is self-evident in her presence. She embodies the power of restraint, the kind that silences entire rooms without uttering a word. Those who create these lies often disguise their envy as journalism. They cannot stand that Meghan Sussex left the confines of an institution that fed on her silence and went on to build a freer, happier life. They cannot accept that she is now thriving on her own terms, surrounded by people who genuinely value her. So they invent. They fabricate contracts, exaggerate numbers, and plant stories about sources that exist only in their imagination. They attach dollar figures to her name as though success could only be measured in currency, not in peace of mind. But Meghan's wealth lies elsewhere, in her integrity, in her authenticity, in the love she gives and receives freely, without the permission of press rooms or palace courtiers. What they call a high-paying guest slot was in reality a moment of friendship, loyalty, and mutual respect between creatives. Meghan has always valued artistry. She recognizes vision and celebrates it. Her presence at Balenciaga was no commercial arrangement. It was a continuation of her long-standing commitment to supporting excellence. Yet, to admit that would require tabloids to acknowledge her sincerity, something they have avoided since the moment she stepped into the public eye. It's easier for them to call her calculating than compassionate, easier to brand her opportunistic than honest, easier to dehumanize her than to admit that she simply stands taller than the lies surrounding her. The same tabloids that now accuse her of being highly paid are the ones that mocked her for working hard when she was a royal, sneered at her humanitarian work, and tried to belittle her entrepreneurial ventures. Their contempt is not for her actions but for her autonomy. They despise that she moves without their control. They cannot dictate her narrative, and so they distort it. Each false headline becomes an act of desperation, a reminder that Meghan Sussex does not bend to the media's agenda. She lives beyond their reach, and that infuriates them. What makes the deceit even more transparent is how they recycle the same formula. Insert Meghan's name, add a luxury brand, cite sources, and watch the engagement numbers rise. It's the oldest trick in digital tabloid history. Use a woman's success to provoke jealousy, then hide behind anonymous quotes to avoid accountability. But every clickbait article about Meghan only reinforces how magnetic she remains, how powerful her name is, and how deeply she unsettles those who once believed they could control her image. She is no longer a victim of media distortion. She is proof that truth survives it. Every time tabloids lie about Meghan Sussex, they expose their own poverty of spirit. They show the world how small, insecure, and profit-driven they have become. They manufacture conflict because they cannot comprehend contentment. They invent drama because they cannot write about peace. But Meghan Sussex continues to stand for something far greater, an unshakable sense of purpose. She represents resilience, intellect, and self-respect in a world addicted to spectacle. When they call her names, she answers with achievement. When they fabricate stories, she responds with silence that echoes louder than their headlines. The trolls, too, feed on this cycle. They gather in the comment sections of false stories, repeating gossip as if it were scripture. They call her names they would never dare say to her face, yet not one of them can take away her truth. Meghan Sussex has never sought to please the internet. Her life is not an online performance. It is real, lived with compassion, and guided by principle. The cruelty thrown at her only magnifies her strength. Each attack, each rumour, each distortion becomes proof that she unsettles those who lack her courage. Even more telling is the double standard. When other public figures attend fashion shows, they are celebrated as style icons or praised for supporting their friends. When Meghan Sussex does the same, it becomes a headline about money, contracts, or manipulation. It's a reflection not of her actions, but of the lens through which she is viewed, a lens clouded by prejudice and envy. The truth is that Meghan does not attend events for validation. She attends because she belongs in those spaces, because she has earned her place among creators, thinkers, and innovators who see beyond tabloid noise. Her friendship with Pierpaolo is not a publicity stunt. It is rooted in mutual respect. Both share an understanding of artistry, craftsmanship, and creative depth. To them, fashion is not vanity, it's storytelling. Meghan has always gravitated toward those who use their art to uplift others, to communicate emotion, to honor individuality. Her presence at Balenciaga was a continuation of that philosophy. She was not performing. She was participating in the celebration of human creativity. And that, more than anything, terrifies the tabloids, because they can't twist authenticity into scandal when the world has already seen the truth. In the broader sense, Meghan Sussex has become a mirror reflecting the failures of modern media. They project their own obsession with profit onto her, their own manipulation onto her narrative, their own hunger for relevance onto her fame. But unlike them, she does not chase headlines. She creates moments that matter, whether through her humanitarian work, her entrepreneurial ventures, or her ability to inspire women globally to stand firm in their truth. The lie may spread quickly, but the truth endures, carried quietly by those who see her clearly. No fabricated headline can change the fact that Meghan Sussex represents an era of evolution, an age where women define themselves, speak for themselves, and thrive without permission. Every attempt to distort her image only highlights how unstoppable she has become. The world is tired of media cruelty disguised as reporting. It craves authenticity, empathy, and truth, and Meghan embodies all three. That is why her presence continues to dominate headlines even when she says nothing. Her silence is magnetic because it stands in contrast to their noise. So yes, the lie was loud. But the truth is louder. The truth is that Meghan Sussex attended Balenciaga out of friendship, loyalty, and respect. The truth is that she owes the tabloids nothing. The truth is that her value cannot be measured by fabricated numbers or clickbait titles. The truth is that her grace continues to outshine their greed. The truth is that envy will always try to distort light, but it can never extinguish it. And as long as tabloids keep inventing, Meghan Sussex will keep transcending. For every false article they print, she gains another ally who sees through the facade. For every rumor they invent, she gains another admirer who values integrity over gossip. For every headline that lies, there is a truth that shines brighter. That Meghan Sussex's worth was never for sale, and her spirit will never be silenced. She has walked through storms that would have broken many, yet she stands radiant, calm, kind, unbothered. That is the greatest revenge against a world that tried to rewrite her. Truth does not need defense. It only needs time. And with every passing day, the lie fades, while the truth of Meghan Sussex, her dignity, her strength, her unwavering light, endures.
And that wraps our daily diaries updates. Harry and Meghan always keep the world talking. And if you enjoy this update, do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and for more royalty subbed with honesty, just right here on Daily Diaries Friday. Till next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep shining. See you next time with more royal news and good vibe. Bye bye.